As a result of recent events on the Star Squadron server, what will be later referred to as the Great Rift. It began with the capital planet blowing up and nobody is to blame. Some seem more suspicious than others, but we don't really know who did this. Was it a pirate or was it an inside job? It remains unclear. What however is clear is that Jay's machine, Garth, some guy, Fuse and Evil Giraffe gathered to a meeting where they formed the United Larimar Alliance to secure their income of Larimar through the system. Me and some other suspicious members of this very weird alliance, that is Nathan, Drackert and I, gathered to a counter meeting in Pandora Haven who just restored its atmosphere. And this is the meeting, all in all.
Hello guys, thanks you could come.
Hello, of course.
I guess you all have better things to do, but the information or recent events kind of forced us, I guess.
Yeah, we all seen their broadcast leak.
Outrageous.
Yeah. So basically, to just make this brief, I have a transcript which kind of lists all the steps all the accusations and stuff like that. Maybe we should briefly just fly over it, and everybody, if there is a point someone wants to say something, just raise your hand and speak up, so
Okay.
we can briefly go through that thing.
I'm gonna make myself comfortable here.
Naturally.
Okay, so step one would be it's just the introduction thing. Chase started by saying that he just trusts the old Wayland Yutani members and everybody else cannot be trusted. Next was that he has some suspicions about a lot of other people, but doesn't. And then my personal note, but he does not visit them to talk to them as well, like he did with Scars. He just makes up those accusations and then gathers with the other people instead of talking directly to people he is suspicious about.
I see.
Next that was mentioned was that Garth and a top ace were not at home, and I am wondering, is there any proof of that or something like that? And also this top ace guy, who is that anyways? There is no introduction. The moment he shows up, the planet explodes, and Chase is acting like that guy is around for a long time and he trusts him and stuff like that. That is basically how I viewed this thing. Next on the list was some guy, source of ninja attacks, like in his video, is not considered very credible. Please note that for later when some guy makes some accusations, just saying. Next on my point, if any of you just wants to say something about this, you let me know. Next on my list, Chase admits that people on the server besides the admins we know were given admin privileges. I didn't know there was someone else given such powers. First, why is that? This new guy, how did he gain those powers? And Chase said that in a way that if Top Ace, the one guy who piloted the ship which kind of blew up the planet, so the story is, right, that this guy would also be able to log in as admin and blow up the admin with an admin command instead. So it, he puts that up as proof that Top Ace could not be the guy who did that. Kind of thing.
Hold the phone. We have how many admins here now?
As far as I know, it's just you and Trace.
And this top ace guy, I mean, I trust you, Nathan, so I don't believe that you could have done something like this. And then there is top ace and Jace left.
Well, since when is top ace, like, how did he get admin powers?
Well, it's not Nathan that
I
gave
don't
him
know.
it.
I haven't given it to them, to him.
Like, could you check on this information, Nathan, for us?
Sure, hold the phone. Admins, we have, currently 3 spots. Nathan, then we have admin top for a, what the hell, and Chase Machine. So he is an admin.
So when did that happen? If you didn't change that, so who did?
I don't know, but it must have been a while ago because he is listed before Chase.
That's weird. Huh. So, like, is this guy like sneaking in here somehow? How did it happen? Anyway, should I continue on my list?
Yeah.
I mean that is really suspicious to me. Like, how can someone, like, get such
That's suspicion in person.
Indeed. So, Gars admits not having the firepower for such an operation. Oh, the Puma is bigger in size than the alien ship. Okay, yeah, that's my note. Basically, Gars said that he could not figure out how to do such stuff because, I mean, even though he built bigger ships, those were not able to blow up a planet. So, which made me think, right? Because even the scimitar would probably have to fire at a planet a long time to make it burst into pieces. So probably your mothership would be able to do that, but we all know that the mothership was not that ship because they look totally different. So I did some calculations and gave that to my engineers to calculate it through, and they came up with the result of that the estimated mass of this ship, like what system-wise could be put in that thing, even though if there were nothing else than just cannons, so no power, no thrust, no other system than just cannons, this could never bring up the firepower to explode that planet. But if we look at the footage, and this is what made me really suspicious about that, the ship is firing 3 times, and at the end of the 3rd time, there is still a little time gap, right? And then the planet blows up. So when looked closely at the footage, we can see this time difference, right? And actually this time, with a 70% accuracy, is about the time a normal rider would have to write down the /planet sing command to blow up a planet. So probably the planet did not explode because of the chip firing at the planet, and it was blown up by an admin. So yeah.
So you think Jace and Top Ace planned this together?
I don't know, like, well, I trust you, Nathan, because they are accusing you as well. I mean, that's coming later.
I don't even know the command.
Well, the thing is, like, I kind of think such power nobody in the game wields right now. Blowing up a planet is still, even though a lot of us have imported stuff from the previous server, even because of that, all this stuff is obsolete meanwhile, because all the systems changed, blah 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 blah. So we need to rebuild our ships constantly to keep them somehow efficient. So everything we have laying around here is not able to blow up a planet, and the mothership did not move, obviously, right? So I mean, that ship of course could probably...
Yeah, it already did.
Okay.
One planet, yeah, but it was uninhabited, I swear.
No problem, man. I just, your ship probably could do such.
It was a field test,
Of course, you need to test your weapons, man.
Yeah.
Well, the orbital platform can of course blow up a planet. That's why it tested against your mothership.
Oh yeah, that's
but,
true.
I mean, that was far away. and it's super slow. It's no way they could have moved that without a tractor ship.
See, right? So, yeah. Well, that is what made me suspicious. So I'm thinking like, probably it is because of admin powers. So,
I see. But it could also have been temporary admin powers. I mean, it doesn't prove who it was, because theoretically someone could have been admin for the necessary 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's true. And then unadmin again, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
Jace
then
knows these commands well.
Those people
It doesn't explain all these accusations against us. They were unrightly made with no evidence
It's
at
a
all.
coping strategy.
It is. It is. So let's just try to get through the list, okay? Because I guess we have a lot more to talk when we are through here.
Yeah.
Go on.
Okay, the next point was then Chase basically accused everyone who brought their stuff with them from the old server, because they could have brought tech with them. Yeah, so basically everyone who brought stations or stuff from the old world would be able to kill the planet. Well, as far as I know, that would fit to a lot of people. So basically he was randomly accusing everybody who brought back stuff. Giraffe didn't know where she was the day the planet blew up, which I found very suspicious. Next,
She
Chase...
couldn't name the sector.
Pardon?
She couldn't name the sector, not even the solar system.
No. She,
Hmm.
probably
seriously, when
blackout.
do you ever not know where you are?
Exactly. Isn't that like weird? I
weird.
was drunk a few times in my life, but still I knew where I was.
Yeah, you knew in which freaking solar system you are.
Right.
Well,
That's the
she
thing.
got that shop full of Y-hole, so you never know.
Still, man, you still know where you are lying down to, when you're high. I mean, come on.
I don't run on that shit, so I don't know.
We have all
But
experience with such stuff, but
But,
I mean, even in the aftermaths, you could have figured out, well, I don't remember, but obviously I would have still been there, just because that's the point where I consumed the Y-holes and got high. Whee! Alright? So
Yeah.
well,
I see your point there.
she claims to not know where she was when the planet blew up.
Mm-hmm.
Chase claimed to have looked into the login data and found altered registry entries for Gauss and Top Ace. Now, this is critical for me, making me absolutely suspicious about all the makeup they are doing, because this information, please correct me if I'm wrong, Nathan, this information is stored in log files, which are located on the server. As far as I know, was Chase not able to put up our blueprints for stations or other stuff we wanted to import from the old world on the server, because he did not have file access there. So I am wondering, how was he able to get through those log files to then claim to have figured out that the registry information for Gauss and this new Top Ace guy would have been altered?
that's a very good point.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because when the account is mine, so the server is all on my name, but I gave him every single right there is. He could totally mess up the server. Chase, I'm sure he has in some way file access. If not, he can at least get the FTP access data. He can get everything.
Yeah,
He
but
can
on
do
one
everything
hand,
on
he
the
was not
server.
able to help us import stuff, and on the other hand, he goes like reading the log files. That kind
However,
of...
I've been working with Chase closely, and I actually have to say I trust him. I'm kind of shocked right now. I'm confused. what to think, because
right. We
Chase
had
is
no
doing a
reason
brilliant
to
job.
ever
That's why
distrust
I
anyone.
trusted him with all these powers, you know?
Right, so we had no reason to ever distrust anyone, but we are
No.
getting accused of sowing discord. That
But
comes
is
later.
there someone who's really good at, you know, with computer stuff? Could they have hacked the server, maybe? To access these files? I mean, besides me and Chase, nobody is able to go into the interface, not even Top Ace. He cannot do that. He can only do admin stuff.
I don't know, man. Well, who would have, you know, the motive to do that?
You know, if you have the knowledge, I think that's motive enough. You know, can you do it?
I certainly cannot.
No, I mean, in general, if someone can do it, I mean, it must be a kick to do it. Even, you know, if you don't really have.
You mean
motive.
for sports?
Yes.
Yeah, he might think it's a bit exciting to like just do this and then take no responsibility and see how people react.
Who benefits the most of our factions fighting? Who benefits the most?
I don't know, man. No clue.
I
And
I
that
have
is
heard
the
some.
next thing.
Yeah.
Some of the guys came up with stuff like, you know, there was this insurance fraud thing, but that's coming later in the script. Should I maybe just continue?
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Okay. The next, then he says, Chase says that you brought over the mothership. Okay. Some guy then throws into the room that the Swiss cannot be trusted. For
They cannot?
For they have the reputation as being collaborators. And next on my list is Chase finds it suspicious that I was meeting with Landscape on the planet to talk about my new neighborship. Okay, I don't know, like he really talked like, and then he met up with Lance and they didn't talk about much, just being neighbors. Well, actually, if you have a pirate settling in a sector next to you, wouldn't you ask him some questions about his plans? I don't know. Okay, some guy felt left out for not getting invited to the Absinthe Bar and claims not to have seen us. Well, I got an explanation for that, because I saw him cursing at a graffiti and shaking his fists towards it for an extended period of time, and he was pretty loud in that regard. So
I have seen him many times there, and he always drink too much absinthe. Every time. It's reckless.
So basically I met with Lance without inviting and drunk already, you know.
I see, yeah.
Next on my list, Chase Machine finds it very suspicious to meet up with neighbors and ask about neighborhood pirates settling right next to you. Okay, yeah, we got that covered. Some guy finds suspicious because of the insurance dealings, okay. And then Chase claims that Jim Odison would have gotten rich by the planet blowing up because of insurance stuff, and
I mean, that might have happened, but it's not that I could know it on forehand. I get some good tips of making some good insurances, and then this happened. I'm just lucky that I was able to save the city afterwards.
The thing is, they are really accusing you of stuff because they said you gotten rich, and later in the transcript they were I guess we get to that. Question here at you, was that insurance even paid, or was the insurance, I mean, you both might know because Chase claimed that you both did, you know, Nathan, your insured demodisms played, right? So the thing was, or was this covered by the insurance? Because this is like a catastrophe event, which most insurances, like, you know, they have the clauses to not cover everything.
Higher forces.
So what was that thing even paid? Let me ask you both this question. Like, did the insurance even pay?
Most of it, but not all.
Yeah, right. That's the thing, we the insurance is very complicated, and this is something that is very exceptional, and that he still got paid this much is actually kind of that was a good deed from us, I think. Even though we didn't pay 100%,
it was to save the capital city.
Yeah,
it's like.
I mean, yeah, we also have it was in our best interest to save it.
Okay, so basically you said even though the cause was a catastrophic event which would not normally be covered by the insurance, we are still going to pay because actually glass broke and because other stuff got hurt and stuff got ripped open, and we are paying for all those stuff because we want the planet to continue to exist, or at least the city, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, a lot of our insurance is based on the existence of the planet, so...
Okay. That is interesting. Okay, so going to the next on my list. Oh, right. How would Chase even know about your insurance dealings?
That's a very good question, actually, because it was never made public.
Okay, next. By the way, if I'm calling Chase out so often, it's just because he was speaking a lot of the time. So, basically, yeah. He claimed next that a month ago, people on Pandora Haven would have been moved to the upper floors of the buildings to be now in need for oxygen, which now they can purchase from G-Medicine Industries. Seriously, is that true?
Of course not. The ones that already was living at the top floors had to do that, but the ones living at top floor are usually people with very much money. But now we have completed to set up the artificial atmosphere thanks to the assets of discrete shipyards, so now that is no longer needed. And no one was moved anywhere. That's absolutely absurd.
Thank you. Which, by the way, that is a really nice artificial atmosphere you created here. I just saw it by flying in here. Good job on that one. Okay, so I'll move next on my list. Oh yeah, basically now comes the part they agree on to work together as a group, and their next aim would be either to reveal what was going on, or if that would not be possible, that they would form the strongest alliance on the server. Then the group, like all of them, assumed that we would blow up the planet, make everyone refugees, and then make them supply from us, so that basically we would be able to take over power and rule them by people which don't speak English. I have no, I don't know if they just consume too much absinthe. I'm really not, anyone wants to make a comment on this?
It's absurd as it is, so I don't know even what to say.
No comment.
Comment.
I'm neutral on this.
Chase believes G-Medism and myself to be the root of all the evil, or at least being sowing discord amongst the server population or the different groups on the server. So basically he claims us responsible for Nelly having taken off into space, and Sven kind of also disappearing, doing his own thing. And anyway, okay, here the transcript ends, and they're basically just doing the name debate about what they want to call themselves, and picking a name and stuff like that, and congratulating anyway. The script ended here. So okay, guys, I mean, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm shaken. Depressing.
This is very absurd. I saw the transmission before, and I was very upset at the time. From studying some of the participants, they all seem a bit set up. Some of them, not all. Evil and some guy was acting very weird, just walking around all over the place like they couldn't relax, like straight out crazy.
Nervous, really, right?
Yeah, really nervous.
Are they in fear of something? I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Are they getting forced to do this?
Some of them might be forced to do this. I mean, there are many resources. The Larimar is important, but it's not everything.
Especially with the new galaxy, I mean, there is so much Larimar around, right?
Well, there will not be for long, as they keep storing it in their secret base.
So, are you concerned about them taking ours as well?
They have strongly implemented that they will do that. I have actually gotten some anonymous messages sent to me that claiming that soon you will have no Larimar in your whole system. I don't know, I can't say it was from them, but it might well could have been. Just specific Larimar. Why just Larimar?
Well, that's what they wanted to protect. I have no clue why.
It feels a bit set up that they just should choose the name and base it. It's like an economy where they base it around Larimar. It's just like old Earth when you created these economies based around oil and thus gaining power. It's the same thing happening again.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought as well. So here's the thing. They're accusing us. So probably they are like, did we not fall for their, like, are we wearing tinfoil caps often enough to not getting influenced by their fear waves or something like that? So
About wearing tinfoil, some guy straight out said that he was wearing tinfoil hats.
Obviously his have big leaks. Now the thing is, they are ganging up and I have no clue why. And I'm wondering, like, should we be afraid? And if so, probably we should respond in, I mean, it's childish, but in kind of the same manner.
It's very natural, we must protect our business interests.
Nathan,
I think I should talk. We should also try to talk. You know, find out more. Right now, it's all just based on accusations and suspicious behavior. We don't really know anything. It's just fear-mongering. What if we react the same way and we just make everything worse? I mean, maybe we find some kind of a diplomatic answer to this, a treaty.
Well, yeah, that's also true. We need to do much more research on this, but in the meanwhile, if we do nothing, we will get left behind. And if there isn't some big plan behind this, they will win it.
That's what I fear as well.
So what do we do?
Well, we need to try to figure out what is really going on, but at the same time, I think it's of our mutual interest to try to keep things as civilized as possible and try not to, overshoot or anything, and try to, everybody just secures their borders, or we just make sure they are not, releasing a plague on everybody, kind of, by just claiming systems randomly. And so
probably we also should secure our supply lines.
I see your point.
It's just business. It's just business, and it's all about the money. And, well, we need to make secure our interests in this. Our wealth.
I still would have considered them friends, but these accusations make it pretty difficult to view them like this right now. You know what I mean?
Some of them are more straight out hostile than others. Jay's machine put out most of the claims, but on the other side, they are in the same group of alignments. Like the same alliance.
Yep. So, I mean, a lot of people got accused.
We should absolutely contact other server members accused and see if anyone got more intel on this also.
Definitely. So in the meantime, should we just, I don't know, respond in the same way and also form an alliance of kind of thing? Well, if it's business interest, how about
I think we have no choice.
Yeah, well,
we should do it.
We should do it. We need to do it. It's just business, and we can't afford to get left behind in a situation like this.
Who can play this game? Yeah.
And hopefully later find out what really happens. I mean, that should be the goal.
Yeah, but it's just a game, people. Let's go with it.
I guess.
Well, Commonwealth, you say. What Commonwealth?
Well, common in the sense of, I mean, we did a lot for the people of Pandora even. So pretty much real common good of
and wealth
everybody.
In the money you acquired.
Yeah, everybody being, wealthy, everybody, for the greater good of all.
Everybody benefits on this, so that's... Also, no one else is acting like we're nervous or anything, so we're all free companies here.
Right. So, free commonwealths, that's not three different words, so...
We have our different worlds, of course, so, I mean, we still cooperate, but we, of course, can't live in the same location. Free worlds? Commonwealth, maybe?
That is actually a nice name.
Let's go with it.
We go with it.
Yeah. We go with it. Okay, so... Who is going to try to contact Nally? Sadly, he couldn't be here. And I don't know, did we leave out anyone being accused as well? I think Ravenshield also got, his ship imported, right? I'm not sure about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe someone we could, ask him about what his stance would be.
He's at least not at the other team, so we might be getting some neutral info from him.
Well, I guess that is all that could be, for later.
I mean, Landscape works for the money, as far as I understand, with no real boundaries, so...
So how about we pay him some money for information?
I actually tried that, but we can try again, I guess.
I doubt that he know anything, but maybe we could pay him to acquire some information, so to say.
Infiltrate them.
Or get some Larimar for us.
That too. Well, that's
okay.
Okay, good.
Hereby, the alliance is officially formed.
So, we are forming the Free Worlds Commonwealth. And, for the common good of everybody.
Whoa!
Yay! I'm still...
Well, that's really good. We all have much important things to do. I still need to fix the atmosphere last bit here, so...
Yeah.
If you don't have anything more to say, maybe this is a good point to part up and go home to our worlds.
Yeah. Thank you,
Definitely.
gentlemen.
Thank you very much for being here. Thanks for the time.
Well, that's all good. Thank you all, and I have been much enjoying your visit here in the saved city.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Okay, we hear from each other. Bye, guys.
Bye bye. You
Bye-bye.
find your ships.